Okay. Good afternoon. I am going to wait for some other people to join. There are absolutely no comments today because I want to make myself available to everyone today. So I'm going to listen to my music while we wait for our for some more people to join. I wanted to say hello really quick to my subscribers that are um, private subscribers. Hello to you because I'm sure you're here. I'm watching, so I'm gonna give a shout out to you guys real quick. Hello. I'm just gonna listen to yeah, I can. I'm not gonna turn it up so because I don't want to be copyrighted. YouTube is just not playing anymore. But like I said, I wanted to give a shout out to my private subscribers. Hello. And we're going to get started on this video in a couple of minutes. Again, as I said a minute ago, absolutely, I turned my comments off today. I wanted to be available to everyone. And like I told you guys before, the whole no comment thing is the whole making your video kid friendly. And I want my videos are kid friendly. I'm not going to press that my videos are not kid friendly just to have comments in my video because that's not what it's about for me. It's about getting on YouTube and testifying, ministering. Ministering, what I mean by ministering is just, giving the good word according to how I know it and how I've learned to know it. And that's my personal experiences. So yeah, I really want to make myself available to everyone. And by the end of this week, um, I'm going to determine, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm going to determine who's going to stay in my life and who's not going to stay in my life. God tests us every day. We're being tested all the time. We're being tested by God. We're being tested by our friends. We're just being tested by life. And I said this the other day, right? I said this the other day, and I had a conversation with someone in reference to this before too. I said, I have expectations for my friends, and if I'm ever in a relationship again, I have expectations in my relationship. And usually when people ask me, what are your expectations for your friendships, what are your expectations, what are my people ask me, what are my expectations for my friendships, and what are my expectations for relationships, if I was ever to get in a relationship. But again, for you guys that are just joining, no comments today. I want to be available to everybody. A lot of times the comments are a distraction and I get off topic about what I'm talking about. And I do that well all by myself. So no comments. But anyway, people will ask me that, what are my expectations? And usually initially I'll be like, I don't have expectations for my friendships or my relationships, because when you start having expectations for people, you start getting let down. And I'm being let down. And we're being let down because I said this the other day. I said this yesterday. I'm a big supporter of my friends. Um, and I need to stop telling people that I don't have expectations in my friendships or my relationships, because my expectations for my friends, and if I were ever to get in a relationship, my expectations will be support. Will always be one of your biggest supporters. You tell me that you have a project, I'm on it. I'm in there. I'm trying to see how I can help you. You tell me you have a YouTube channel and you're about to go live. I'm there. And I'm repeating myself because I'm trying to give people a chance to do what they're supposed to do in a friendship. And I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but I'm going to apologize a little bit if I come off like being strong or aggressive or anything like that. It's just that I've been through the whole thing where the courtesy was not returned, where I was supportive of someone, like totally supportive, where, per se, like say if you have a concert, I'm going to try my best to get there. I know you got a YouTube and you're going to, I'm going to turn those notifications on. I'm going to be in your YouTube. I'm going to like, I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to do all that. I'm a big supporter. I support my friends, and in relationships, I, support the person that I'm with. And I'm not going to allow any more friendships or relationships to continue where it's one-sided support. I'm not going to do that. I reached out to a couple of people yesterday, and I told them how important my YouTube page was to me because, like I said, I come on here, I try to give the best content. I pray before I come on here. I ask God, give me a word today. Give me something that I can talk about today. Give me something that will reach people. And I said that to a couple of people, and I got no reply. And I'm sorry to say this, that doesn't work for me because I wouldn't do that to you. If you tell me, again, if you have something going on, I'm going to try my best to support you. And that's um, just the way that I am. So I don't want to waste my time anymore with people that are not going to support me the way that I support them. And that is my expectations for my friendships. That would be my expectation for a relationship. If I support you, I expect you to support me. And I'm not in the position anymore to settle. And what I mean by that is because this has been going on a lot. And me and my best friend, we talked about this the other day, how she had met someone and then talking to find out what they liked and what they didn't like. Um, she's an artist, a musician artist. Listens to all genres of music, right? So she was talking to this person and she's like, well, I like opera and I like to go to museums and this is this. And all the person can say, I'm not into that. I don't like that. Well, you guys, no matter how much you like a person, for me right now, that will be a deal breaker for me. Um, that we can't, if I liked opera, that we can't go to opera. If you didn't like to go to museums, we're living, they say you shouldn't say that we're living in our last days, but you guys, it's a lot of stuff going on that resonates with the book of what, Revelations. It's a lot of stuff going on right now. But set aside from that, that's just where I am in my life. I will compromise. And if someone comes to tell me, that they like to do A, B, and C, and I don't like doing that because I, like them or care about them or whatever, I will compromise. I'm not willing in my life to deal with anybody who just off the break automatically, oh, I don't like that. Let them do that. Da-da-da. And that's fine if you don't like that. And if you don't want to do that, it's never what you do, it's how you do it. It's never what you say. It's how you say it. I don't know if I'm making myself clear or not. And it doesn't matter because God actually has been placing people in my life um, that I believe that um, either I'm equally aligned with or I will be equally aligned with. And if not, you got to go. And that, whatever, it doesn't matter. You guys, I'm not doing that this year. I'm not doing that in 2020. I'm not doing it in 2021. I'm not anywhere further. I'm not doing that. I'm not settling for nothing. I'm not going to allow anyone to bully me out of the friendships and the relationships and the connections that I want to have with people. And like I told you guys the other day, get a piece of paper, write down 5 things that you feel as though that you cannot survive without having um write down at least 5 things that you feel as though that you need to have a fruitful friendship or relationship. And for you guys that are just joining, my comments are turned off today, and they probably will continue to be turned off because, like I told you guys the other day, um, I want my videos to be, YouTube has changed their policy and stuff. I want my videos to be available to everyone. Um, I have enough class to know when to, stream and not cuss and, do this and do that because there will be children that are watching. So yes, my comments are turned off today, and they might forever become turned off. Not really though, but I want to be available to everybody. So for those of you that are just coming in, I want to be available to everybody. For those of you who are just coming in and didn't hear me say this previously, yes, the comments are turned off because I want to be available to everybody because I really wanted to speak to the young adults and even children today, but I had to, come on real quick and make that little disclaimer. So you guys give me a second. Okay. You guys give me a second. Okay. So that's cool. I see that some of you have logged out, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine with me. Sometimes comments are distractions for me. Like I said, you guys get to comment, and I get to look at it, and I get off track, and forget, the intention. So I don't want that today. I want to be available to everyone. Before I get into this video, I am in Virginia, and the wind has been whistling on another level today. The wind, I initially got up this morning, and I woke up a few times this morning. On the weekends, I like to relax, and I don't like to be bothered. You guys know I'm not even a morning person. So, yeah. So, what did I want to say? See, I picked up my phone again, distracted. Picked up my phone again. Yeah, I'm out here in Virginia. You guys, this wind has been howling, and whistling like never before. I actually came in my living room to record, and I got the window open because I wanted to see if you guys can hear the wind. It's very unique today. At some points, it just sounds like maybe like a big cat roaring, or a lion attacking. I don't know, but this is what I wanted to say too before I get into my video. Be in the position to be in the position for the position. Be in the position to be positioned for the position. Be in the position to be positioned for the position. Amen. Okay. The title of my video is You Are What You Say, and You Are What You Think You Are. And I had a hard time myself coming to grips with that. That I was what I said I was, and I was, what I thought I was. And we talked about this the other day. And there's a lot of power in what you think. There's a lot of power in what you say. Repeat myself. There's a lot of power in what you think, and there's a lot of power in what you say. So be very cautious of that. Because you are what you think you are. You are what you say you are. Just like they say you are what you eat. I believe that to be true too. So be more cautious and be more mindful. Excuse me for the video quality today. I caught myself coming downstairs in my dining room. No, my living room to record because there's more light. Usually there's more light down here, and I'm by a window, and I wanted you guys to hear the wind out here in Virginia is something different. But anyway, I really wanted um, talk to the young people today. But before I talk to the young people, I want to talk to the older adults, like people, the 30 and over club, or anyone that has children um, that are of age that can understand. It's important right now in this time that we start playing our parts. It's very important that we start playing our part as a parent. It is important, period, that we start um, playing our part as leaders, as role models, being a parent or a guardian if you take care of your grandkids or whatever like that. And so often I come across people who are, tell me about, their children or their grandchildren. And, I have my own personal experience with my neighbor who has two young children who call their mother by their name. Now, mind you, children would do that because I would do that with my kids, not all of them. Like especially my oldest daughter, the one that's 27, she'd be like, Kim, I'm hungry. And I'd be like, Kim, no, ma'am, I'm mom. But kids will do that because they hear other people calling you by your name. So sometimes they'll do it and you have to break them out of it. But I have a neighbor whose grandchildren do it all the time and it's super annoying. Their ages are 5 and 3. Now I can understand a 3-year-old because he's still a baby. And you really have to break them out of doing that. And he just, every time he sees me, hi, Kim. I wasn't raised like that. Some of you are okay with that. I wasn't raised like that. And I don't respect that. I believe that when I go out, I'm an adult. And when I go out, I'm like, hi, Miss whoever. Hi, such and such or whatever like that. And I teach my kids that it's not, you don't call a person by their name. I just think that it's a respect thing. That's just my personal. And I'm at the point now, and you can call me an old crabby old lady, whatever it is. It's like I command respect because I always am going to be a respectful woman. So when I'm around people's children, um, and they're like, "Hey, Kim," and they're like very young, I'm sorry, I won't answer them because I think it's disrespectful. I know, right? Rough, right? But like I said, it's time for us as adults. It's time for us as parents. It's time for us as guardians. It's time for us as overseers to try to start to play our parts. And our part is to, um, you know, be a better example. Yeah, be a better example. Be a better role model. And I'm saying all this to say I've been really paying attention to a lot of the stuff that's been going on. I don't know if it's that warm outside, but just shorts on. Been paying attention to a lot of the stuff that's going on. Um, in public. I've been paying attention to a lot of the stuff that's been going on in my own personal life with the young adults. And my children, I have 4 daughters. Excuse me, my children are far from perfect. But what I can say is I teach my kids to have the utmost respect. It's a consistent thing for me, and I'm not judging you. I'm not judging anybody. I just want us as role models, as older people, as guardians, as overseers of these young adults and these children and these babies to play your position and be a better role model. And there's nothing wrong with, wanting to be relatable to your children at any age, wanting to, have fun with your children and, this and this. But you have to have boundaries. And a lot of us don't have boundaries. We want to be our children's friend instead of being their role model or example. And even at an adult age, children, our children, or the people that we oversee, or we're guardians over, whatever, they still, even as older adults or young adults, they still model the things that we do and we say. And I'm speaking for myself too. Like, have you ever seen a young child? Have you ever been on the phone and you didn't notice that there was a young child, and surrounding you? And I've seen this. I've even seen this with my own children where I'm on the phone and I might be having a discussion that's a little bit heated or whatever. And later on, the child will go and they'll get their play phone and you'll hear the child say, um, uh, you get on my nerves and you make me sick. And this, the child is just, and you're looking over at the child and you're like, and then you're like, don't do that, don't say that. And then you're like, oh, well, most of us are like, oh, they had to have heard it somewhere. So we got to learn how to, let's try to play our part a little bit more and be less of a friend to our children or the young adults that are in our life and be more of a role model and be more of a mentor because it's hard out here, y'all. It's very, 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 very hard out here. And I'm just, and I'm not judging you. I'm not judging anybody, but we have to, again, I repeat myself, like play our part out here and try to do better as a, as a guardian or, as a role model for the young adults, because I keep thinking about the incident that happened in the District of Columbia. And I'm not oblivious to the times that we live in, that the children, young adults have access to a lot of stuff. And me personally, I think it's due to the negligence of, you know, the people that are overseeing these children. And I'm not judging anybody for having a gun in their house for safety, but for Pete's sake, put the rifle up to where the children cannot get it. It breaks my heart when you hear these stories about, little Timmy, 5-year-old, found his father's service rifle or found his rifle or whatever, and shot his little sister or this. If you cannot secure your rifle in your home to where a child can't get it, not only a child, a toddler, but I'm talking about a young adult. I'm talking about someone who's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, even in their young adults, 20, 21, 22, 23. I don't think anybody over under 30 should have a weapon. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion, unless you are an officer of the law, a special police officer, and you are authorized to have that. But I'm gonna say it again. I just feel as though if you cannot safely secure that rifle, that gun in your home, I'm sorry, ma'am, sir, you should not have it. It breaks my heart when I hear about these babies or young adults that are losing their life to the negligence of the person of the rifle owner, and that's the first thing. Again, I go back to the young lady that was murdered in the District of Columbia last week sometime, I believe it was 21. I talked about this, I think, the other day. 21 years old, had a confrontation with another 21-year-old, as it's being told, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly from what I saw in the news and, reports or whatever online. Allegedly, there was a confrontation. The girl got off the bus. There was a confrontation. There was a little bit of fighting, pushing and shoving. And the other young lady took out a gun and shot her in the head. I'll say it again. At 21 years old, you should know about how to execute someone. Actually, I take that back because there's TV, there's video games, there's all of that. But at 21 years old, you're having a confrontation with somebody. Okay, you have a gun, and your first thought is, let me shoot her in her head and kill her. You're 21 years old, and that's what your mentality is. That's pretty horrific. It is time for us to start playing our role and being a better role model and being a better overseer and a better guardian, and a better parent. I will say this again: if you are not in a position to secure a rifle in your home, then you should not have it in your house. That's just facts, straight like that. I don't understand it. I don't know. Get yourself a locked box, and if you can't afford a locked box, then you don't have a rifle. There's no way. And if you have a lockbox, that child should not know that this is the key to get into this box. There should not be random keys laying around. We have to get in. We have to get into position to be in a position for the position. Get in position to be positioned for the position. And right now, I'm talking about being a better parent and being a better role model. We have to. I am not a judgmental person, and I have my opinion about things. Um, and sometimes I listen to people and I listen to the things that they say. concerning, you know, their children, or, them being a guardian. Let's just talk about being a guardian of somebody, whether it be a parent or whatever. And I listen to some of the stuff that people say. And I think to myself, you know, this person is talking to me about, you know, something that their child is doing. And then I think to myself, um, not to be judgmental, but, just as a person, period, I think to myself, well, your child is doing that because that is a behavior that you probably modeled, for that child. Like, and when I lived in DC, thank God I don't live in DC no more. I grew up in a time where if your child did something, I can go to your house and I can say, "Excuse me, sir, ma'am," or whatever. Your child, did A, B, and C, and you would, well, let's talk. I apologize. Let's talk. Let's get down to it, honey. Not no more. You got to tell people about their children, and they want to beat you up and fight you. And I encountered that a couple of times in the District of Columbia, where I had a young boy that was very disrespectful to me. He was disrespectful to me to the point where he actually was throwing rocks at me because I forgot what I asked him. But he, was throwing rocks at me, and I'm just like, well, let me go and talk to his parent or whatever, honey. As they say, child, his mother, we went to talk. It was me and my sister. I will never forget. It was like 2007, 2006. We went to talk to his mother. Do you know his mother was outraged? The situation got so bad. No, mind you, I'm sitting on the porch with my daughter, who's now 16, and this kid, he's just throwing rocks at us for no reason. I'm just not, I'm not bothering him. I didn't say anything to him. He's throwing rocks at me, and I'm, like, I'm gonna have to talk to your mother because we knew um his mother, not like that, but we knew her. So we went to talk to this young lady. Honey, long story short, my sister had to beat her behind because she was just like, oh, my son this and my son that. And I'm sorry to say this, but this young lady's son has been incarcerated. This happened in 2000, like, um I want to say this happened around 2006, 2007. This lady's son has been incarcerated, I want to say between the year of 2010 or something like that. He's incarcerated for murder. I don't know if you guys heard about, um over in Southeast DC years ago. It's been like over 10 years ago. Um these Hispanic guys over in Hillside Road over in Southeast DC came to do some work on, a house out there, and Lord and behold, this lady's son, Mister, whatever, um, for no apparent reason, little guys were working on the house, minding their business. Didn't say anything to this kid, just like I never said anything to him. Do you know that this young man went and, shot and killed one of the workers? One of them was able to, like, show himself, walk up to the man working on the house over there in Southeast DC, shot him, and now he's in jail. And this is the same woman. Oh, so stop. Another thing too, stop saying that your kid. No, my child won't do that. My child this and my child that. And I know I'm ruffling some feathers, and I really don't care right now. Be in a position to be put in the position to be in a position. And the position is to be a better guardian, be a better parent, be a better role model. We got to get it together now. Kids are out here killing kids. I left, the District of Columbia. And I keep speaking on the District of Columbia because that's where I resided for so long. Um, I left there March 2019. Oh, last year. And, I've heard about so many horrific murders and things that were going on. And I'm just like, one, wow, I got out of there. And two, and it's been children. 9-year-old boy shot and killed by his friends. He's 9. 9-year-old boy shot and killed by his friend's father over some candy that they were selling on the side of the road. We got to do better. We got to do better, um, as parents, and we got to do better, as role models. I tell you, you know what? It's amazing. I got on here to talk about something else today. This is not what I got on here to talk about today, but I did pray to God and I asked God, to excuse me, to give me a word and to, give me something, that I could talk about. And I end up, um, talking about, being a better guardian, being a better parent. So I guess I'm gonna have to come on. I'm gonna try to come on here later on, because like I said initially, I wanted to speak to the youth today, and I wanted to speak to um, the young adults, because there's so many children out here um, that are suffering. I want to say something that's going to be to um, offensive to some people, and I'm not going to apologize for it. We have to start playing our part out here, and because I've lost some friends in the last couple of days, but I don't care, because obviously they weren't my friends anyway, or not. Maybe they're not that they weren't my friends; they're not equally aligned with me. And me personally, and this is going to sound judgmental, and it probably is judgmental. For me personally, let me before I even say this, I'm on a different path in my life. Okay, it's imperative for me, and if I lose any friends or uh, anything like that, that's okay. I'm fine with it. But I have to be on the same path as people, and I have to be um, equally yoked in my friendships or whatever. And I have to say this: nowhere ever is it cool or cute to get drunk or high with your kids. I said it. Shoot the messenger. Go ahead, log off, unsubscribe. I find that to be super duper disturbing when I hear people say, "Oh yeah, me and my daughter went out to the club and we got drunk last night," or "Me and my son went out to the club and we got drunk last night." Now, I will say this: if your child is of age to where they can do that, that is just fine. But for me personally, I'm not going to nobody's club or nobody's event getting drunk with my child and bragging about it, getting high with my child, bragging about it. And high can mean, getting high actually doesn't just mean drugs. Getting high also means getting high off of alcohol too. And I don't. If it's that's okay for you, that's okay for you. But to brag about it, I don't think that's in good spirits. I'm sorry, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. And I be, I have heard people say different stuff, and I'm just like, and you're bragging about it, and you think that is cool. And yes, Jesus drunk wine. He drunk wine, yeah. But yeah, we got fucked up last night. It's never what you do; it's how you do it. Like, I have a 27-year-old. You know, I'm sure she's had a drink or two, but I don't know. I'm just not going to sit around with my child and my children getting high. I'm gonna tell you one reason why. I have a friend from Philly who is damaged by something like that. This young lady is, how old is she now? I want to say she is, hmm, we'll talk about that in a minute. Um, my cat is stalking something in my dining room. I don't even really have a dining room. I use it for storage, but I just think it's weird that my cat, how the cats and big cats go in stalk mode where they get down and this. And I'm like, what are you stalking back there? Because there's nothing back there that you should be stalking. And I'm like, I hope a mouse or something that came in underneath the door. Anyway, I said all this to say we got to do better as role models and, as guardians. Like I said, if you want to go and you want to have a drink or whatever, whatever, I just don't think that it's appropriate for people to be bragging. Oh, me and we went out, we got fucked up. I don't know. It's just me. I just don't think that's cute or like cool. I mean, I can see if you're at a wedding and you had a drink or something like that. I think it's the bragging more that bothers me. The bragging about, oh, we was fucked up. But let me tell you a story about someone who's near and dear to me, who this poor young lady, and she She is a astounding woman to this day. Um, Young lady lives. She's from Philly, but she now lives in Baltimore. She grew up at the young age of 8, watching her parents and her aunts and her uncles get high and drunk. And it wasn't weed; it was crack cocaine. She knew needles, um, this and that. And they say children are like sponges. They are. And she grew up with that. She grew up with, at the age of 12, um, I think she said she started getting high from like crack cocaine and coke and stuff like that at the age of, no, at the age of 10. Um, her family members were giving it to her. Now, I understand that drug and alcohol, they are addictions. They are very, very bad spirits, and they are addictions. And there are times where a person is under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and they're not, you know, very aware of what they're doing. But I personally know two people, and one is actually a good friend of mine, and it is her business. I actually know a young lady who is a functioning, what we call crackhead. She smokes like 90 going north, and I'm not judging her. I actually love her very much. She is so sweet. Her son is just so sweet. Her son, he's been through a lot too. He's an awesome kid too. I want to say he's about 27, 28. We lived in the same neighborhood. And she actually has a very high position in where she works. So, and I take that back saying correct. She's a functioning addict. Let me say that. But anyway, getting back to the young lady that I know, a good friend of mine. Um, at the age of 10, she started, you know, getting high. She was given drugs by her own family member. Um, she had an aunt at that age who was selling drugs and would give her crack and cocaine and give her alcohol and stuff like that. Um, she is now, mind you, I said she started, getting high and all this other stuff, addictions at the age of like 10 or something like that. It might even be younger. I want to say the age 8. I keep on hearing the age 8. But anyway, nevertheless, she is, how old is she now? I want to say she's about maybe 40. And she has been in recovery so many times. The things that we do when we're younger, they do have a lifelong, they can have a lifelong effect on us. The things that we do in front of our children, our grandchildren, our godchildren, just as a guardian, or as a person that is responsible for someone, um, the things that we do can have a lifelong effect on a person, when they get into their um, adulthood. And that's why I keep saying that we have to be in a position to be in the position. We have to in the position to be put in, be in the position to be in the position to be put into position. Um, and we had to do better, you know, straight like that. We have to do better. But I'm not going to take up too much of you guys'. Um, well, let me tell you. Okay, I don't want to get off track here. Y'all, let's talk about something else right now. We gotta do better, right? As a person who, I love everybody. I don't care who you are, your man, your woman, your dog, your cat, transgender, whatever. I don't care where you are. And I'm the type of person, I have this spirit about me where people just, they tell me all their business. They feel like they can come to me and tell me stuff, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, because I believe I give good advice. Now, I don't take that good advice for myself all the time. I'm working on it, but I'm laughing because I want to tell y'all this. And this is going to sound a little mean, but my friend just texted me and wait a minute. Let me find it. And he's telling me about how he just went on a blind date. And he was like, he sent me a text and he was like, I'm so sick of this. I met 3 different people, no spark, and they all lied. One lied about where she lived, one about how much she weighed, one about how many kids she had. Oh, sorry. Why people be lying? That's I know it's not funny. It's not funny, but it's not funny, but I've heard. Cause I'm laughing because I've heard so many. Hi, baby. Okay, I've heard so many stories about people lying about, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, we gotta do better. Like, be in a position to be in a position to be positioned. Like, do better, and that's awful. But anyway, we gotta be more mindful. You guys, we gotta be more mindful. Um. Oh, that's what I was supposed to be looking up. Amen. My friend just said, if you're, what did he just say? That's so sad. He's so right. I'm going to read what my friend of mine said. This is what you did. Just joined, logged on, logged off, whatever. I was reading you guys a text message that I got from a good friend of mine. I switched gears because it was giving me a headache talking about that other stuff, but I had to put that out there about being a better role model. Um, I was telling you guys about a friend of mine who he's gone on. He's been single and celibate for 4 years. Amen to him. Struggle, struggle's real. I don't know how he did it, but it can be done because I've done it before. I have been celibate and single for 3 years myself. Not currently, not right now, but I'm talking about in my past. The struggle was real, but I'm telling you, prayer is the key to everything. Anyway, so this is what he just said to me, and I want you guys to take heed to this. He says, my thing is, if you're over 35 and lie about something like that trivial, you will lie about anything. Preach, brother, preach. That's true. I never did understand that. Let's talk about this real quick. Dating. I never did understand that. I never did understand about how. Actually, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to log out and I'm going to come back because this is not kid friendly. Like I said, my video was kid friendly today. I purposely put it like that. But for all of you that take the time and that have subscribed to my channel, I thank you. I love you. Your support is everything to me. That will actually make or break a friendship. Like I said at the beginning of my video, I'm a big supporter. I support all my friends. If I'm in a relationship, I will support you too. If you have a project, I'm on it. I'm going to see how I can help you. If you tell me you got a YouTube and I'm going to subscribe, I'm there. Whatever. That's just whatever. But I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about why people lie dating. I wish that you guys could be out here in Virginia. This is so weird. It is the wind. It is so. It's like Florida weather. I don't know if anybody has been to like a tropical place where it's like 1,000 degrees outside, but windy as I don't know what. That's how it is out here today in Virginia. It's actually kind of suspect to me. I'm just like, oh, but I'm also fasting today, you guys. So you guys keep me in prayer with fasting. I'm just drinking this water today. I'm, removing all the toxins out of my body, and we will moving some toxic people too. But anyway, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about why people lie about dating. Um, and I'll have to do that other video that I wanted to do.